Hello, friends. We're talking about the new construction process today. This is Bela. I'm a realtor with Caldwell Banker Realty, and I talk about all things real estate. New construction is a big part of selling homes in the Chester, Montgomery, and Delaware counties these days. And I have several clients who buy new construction, who love to buy new construction homes. And so we're talking about the actual building, the structure of the home, and the inspections specifically today. So if you have to do home inspections, most people assume that you're only going to do home inspections on older homes. The assumption is that the builder gives you a 1 year warranty on everything for a new construction home. And once you start living there, if there are any issues that come up, you're going to have the builder fix them anyway. There was no point in getting a home inspection done. I beg to differ. I am of the philosophy that prevention is better than cure. I like the idea of having a professional go through the home, and we're all human, we all make mistakes. The home is built by a whole bunch of subcontractors, and it's all pulled together by that on site project manager for the builder. And there's too many moving pieces, and it always helps to be on the safe side. So, to answer that question, also, I often get asked, which builder is good? What do you think? What is your opinion about a builder? And my stock answer to that question is, the builder is only as good as the on site project manager. So, that construction or project manager, his experience and his diligence and follow up is what is the key to how well your home is being built. So, unfortunately, I have been privy to a wide range. I have seen some construction managers in my experience where, let's just say, I wasn't happy with what they were doing, and I show up for the walkthroughs with my clients, and there are some things which are, I'm no expert on building houses, I do real estate, but just from having been through so many walkthroughs, I know some things, and they're not too happy when I object. And I've actually in my career seen a couple of those construction managers being fired, after a few months. And you're like, well, I wasn't the only one who was unhappy. I'm sure others complained as well. And here we go, that person was fired. But hey, that person may have done some things which the builder didn't approve of, and he lost his job. But in the meantime, he was responsible to build your home, and you don't have the luxury of, you know, getting the new project manager because your home is already built. So the home inspector sort of helps with that process. So today let's talk about pre-construction walkthroughs, inspections. So the builder has three walkthroughs: pre-construction, which I've already talked about in another video. You can check on the link in the description. The second one would be this pre-drywall walkthrough, which we're going to talk about today. And the third one would be the final inspection. So that pre-drywall walkthrough, the builder's project manager takes the buyer through the whole home and shows them exactly what is in their home. So it could be the electricals, like if you picked the fans, switches in your ceiling, you chose recessed lights. If you chose 6 recessed lights, we need to see that there are 6 of them. If you chose a 2 foot bump out in the living room, we need to see that that bump out exists. If you chose a bigger kitchen island, we want to make sure that there is room for that bigger island. If you chose an electric or a gas dryer, we want to see that there is an electric or a gas connection there. If you chose a fireplace, you want to make sure it doesn't have a window and that there is a fireplace over there. If you paid for any extra windows, we want to make sure that the windows are there. So every choice and every selection that you made in terms of structural upgrades, electric upgrades, and all of that is in that file in front of the project manager. And it is just sort of a common sense double check as they're walking through and explaining to you what is where. So now you get to see, this is where your bedroom is, this is where your bathroom is, this is where the bathtub is going to be, your hot and cold water showers, and the refrigerator water line, and so everything. The pre-drywall walkthrough is all the mechanics of the home behind the wall. They haven't put up the drywall yet, so you're able to see all of this. Once they put up the drywall, you're not going to be able to see all of this. And it helps to have a home inspector go through and sort of make sure. Now, the home inspector doesn't know what upgrades you've picked. So they may not be able to say, oh, why is there no 2 foot bump out? Or how come the fireplace is missing? Because they have no idea what you've picked, right? They're only looking at what the builder has built, right? And they're looking at building codes. They're looking to make sure that those were done right. So what the home inspector is doing is from the attic all the way to the basement, checking on all the aspects of a home. Um, the the building codes are very, very clear. The builders are following the building codes. The township, the local township has specific codes and they may differ from township to township, but the township also sends an inspector out there, township inspector, to check at various milestones as the home is being built. You know, when the construction, the foundation is done, or when the electricals are put in, or when the stormwater management is done, or the gas lines, and you know, when the sidewalks are put in. So there are various multiple stages during which the township inspector is coming in to make sure that the home is being built based on the permits that the builder has pulled, based on, you know, they are looking out for the safety and security of the homeowner. So only once they get that approval from the township inspector can the builder move to the next phase of the construction project. So it's, you know, they're working in tandem. So while I say that it is great to have a home inspection, it is great for clients to visit their home as it is being built, because only you know what you've picked in your home. Um, the builder has their own checks and balances. The township has the checks and balances. There are building codes. So the home is being built according to a plan. It's not like, you know, you might get something that's going to crumble and fall down at the end of the day. But I have seen, this is some anecdotal examples of the kind of stuff that we see. I already talked about the structural upgrades that may be missing that you pick. I've seen instances where they put in recess lights where they weren't supposed to, and it's like, well, they're already in now, there's no point taking them out. Hey, you got them for free. You know, that's what the project manager will just joke about it. Or I have seen instances where the sidewalk was put on along the wrong path, and they had to actually remove that sidewalk and set it out right, you know, before settlement. But what the home inspector catches, and I always like the idea of a home inspection because I prefer that prevention is better than cure. If we catch these things before the drywall is put up, they can see what's going on behind the walls. I have not seen too many, in my experience, issues that were really earth-shattering during these pre-drywall meetings. So a lot of times, homeowners will skip the pre-drywall and only do the final home inspection, where they're actually trying and testing the home after it has been completely built. But I've had a reasonable bit of clients who ask a home inspector to go through at the pre-construction, at the pre-drywall stage as well. And here's some anecdotal things that we saw. Well, sometimes those ducts were not, the joints in the ducts were not sealed right, and the home inspector points them out. Maybe it was at a phase where it wasn't finally ready, and the project manager would have found it later, eventually, before the, you know, drywall would go up, but we don't know. But it always helps. Actually, he's happy that the inspector is pointing to some of these things so that they don't miss it. Sometimes I've seen the flashing not done right, like, you know, the staff, the construction staff sometimes takes arbitrary, you know, decisions in terms of what to leave, what to fix. And I have seen some flashing which is not quite done right, or the nails, you know, they take a nail gun and they're, you know, hitting it close to a 2x4, and they're missing the 2x4. So you see the nails stick out at, you know, and a few nails sticking out here and there is fine. But if there are too many, the home inspector is going to point out. And even the energy efficiency, you know, the foam insulation, you know, which seals all the holes, which makes your home totally airtight. All of this stuff is behind, you know, the drywall. And so, you know, the home inspector will point out where it wasn't done right, or the tie-back is missing or something, you know, before the siding is put on the walls. So I am not a home inspector. I gave you anecdotal information about what some of the home inspectors have found in my walkthroughs and my experience before, but these home inspectors will actually give you a report. A lot of times, like I said, it may not be a very earth-shattering because of all those checks and balances in place, but it is like an insurance. It is something that some of my clients choose to, you know, have done as, you know, as a part of their as a part of their analysis, or assurance that the home is being built right, and they have this peace of mind that they don't have to worry about the home. So hope this was helpful. This was only about the pre-drywall walkthrough. And check out the link in my video about the final walkthrough that you would do with your project manager, and then what the home inspector will do in the final walkthrough as well. Hope this was helpful. Please check out my other videos. You know, share these with any folks that you know are buying new construction. Connect with me on social media. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on LinkedIn. Would love to interact with you. Share in the comments below your new construction experiences and help me learn along with you as well. And I'm happy to share my own experiences with my clients through all these videos. Hope these are informative, and I would love to hear from you. Let me know. Take care.